Well, hello, everybody, and welcome to the show. My name is Jared Lee, and I'm joined, as usual, by my lovely wife, Jamie Lee. So, Jamie, how you doing?
Doing pretty well. How are you?
I'm doing well.
Good.
Where we live is a touristy place. Not where we live directly, but I guess the rest of the city, given St. Augustine is a historical city.
Yes. If you're not familiar, it is the oldest city in the country.
Very old. Lots of historical things, especially toward like the coast. And they have these trolley tours as part of this, which are actually a lot of fun. Like they educate you and they teach you how small people were back then because they were tiny.
That is such an odd thing to pick out of the tour.
That's the thing that sticks out to me is how small people were, like life statues. Yeah. You're like, wow, they were like 5'2". But yeah, we've done those a few times, and a lot of people that come into town always want to do those. But your dad now is a trolley driver.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. So yeah, these trolleys take you to all the historical sites within, I don't know, a couple block radius, where most of the history is taking place. And so he has a script to remember. He has to remember all the facts and dates and names and everything. And so it's been funny trying to for him to try to learn all of it. But he's excited. He's still training for it currently. But it'll be fun because then we can do like the tours like for the holidays,
which I didn't get to do last. You guys did it last year. Mm-hmm. Our son, we were gonna do it, and our son, we went out to dinner with everybody, and then he started feeling bad.
Yeah. So
I took him home, and you guys did it. So, but the downtown area for Christmas is amazing.
Yeah.
But it's just insanely packed. But yeah, it's kind of funny that your dad's now he's gonna be giving history lessons.
He's a trolley driver. Good old dad.
Which I didn't know they can't have a cheat sheet. They have to memorize the whole thing.
Oh, yeah.
So if I did that, you'd be getting a very interesting historical perspective sometimes.
It's probably more like a safety thing. Like, don't want you to like drive and read at the same time.
Right. Well, yeah, that makes sense.
You know.
Yeah. I'm actually surprised they don't do just some sort of automated thing. But I guess it's more into like the personal touch of having somebody talk to you about these things.
Probably. Yeah.
Yeah. No. The thing I picked up on really quickly was how small people were then.
Yes. A lot about Flagler, who basically started this whole area in the 1800s, and built a bunch of stuff, including the college.
Yeah.
And the hotels, and there's medical center. He's everywhere.
There's the Fountain of Youth you can go check out.
Also that. Oh yeah, the Fountain of Youth.
I have not dipped my toes into it, but,
so to speak.
I don't know if it works. I can't speak to that.
But yeah, it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool that he's doing that. We're excited for him.
Yeah, and historically, I don't remember if I said this on the show or not. My lineage is interesting. I found out like last year through my uncle who's done a lot of family lineage stuff, like through our history. Like I think one of my ancestors was one of the first recorded instances of using a grenade in the Civil War, which they found out. But they also found out I'm a direct descendant of Winston Churchill and also Sir Francis Drake, who was a English explorer. And I know that name a lot because of the Uncharted video games.
Is that him?
So he was a main part of, because he was an explorer and privateer best known for making the second circumnavigation of the world in a single expedition between 1577 and 1580.
I can't believe you memorized that. That's crazy.
I read it from my phone just now. But no, he's like a famous explorer that, and so the game was all about like going on the trek he went on to find certain things. But which it makes sense. I like cigars and negotiating.
That's specific.
And actually, it makes a lot of sense why I probably like National Treasure.
I like cigars and negotiating.
I mean, that's what Churchill did.
It's on your tombstone now.
But again, like now knowing that, it makes a ton of sense why I like have this loving thing for National Treasure.
I mean, yeah, that makes sense.
And I've always liked history.
You have always
liked
history.
You know what? I'm going to become an explorer now. All right.
He's done. All right.
Pack up. We're going to take everybody on a ship. We're going to be gone for a while.
You need one of those like old school compasses, okay?
Yeah. And the hat.
Yeah.
Well, listen, we have Starlink. We can still do the podcast from the ship. So that won't change.
Okay.
The settings might change. Yeah, we'll see how it goes. I may come back very quickly.
Okay. So when are we exploring? Are we exploring in current day or are we exploring in like
unless you have a time machine. I mean,
you're funny.
I would say the oceans need to be explored because we know nothing about them, but I'm not really big on water. So
Yeah, that's funny.
Maybe we find an island somewhere that hasn't been explored. I don't know. Most stuff's been found now, though. I mean,
There reminds me of that Truman Show part where he's a kid and they're trying to distract him from like going out into the water, and his teacher he goes, "I want to be an explorer," and she goes, "Oh, I'm sorry, there's nothing left to explore."
it's all been discovered.
Like, that made me think of it. Sorry.
Yeah.
Anyway, go ahead.
Trying to get me from. Am I in the Truman Show? I guess we'll find out.
Maybe you
are. But yeah, we're not going to just talk about historical stuff. Although I could. I enjoy that a lot. But we actually have some news to talk about, including Disney has raised prices yet again.
No shock.
Yet again, they have.
No
but we
shock.
do have a special guest on the show today to talk about this. To go on, we're going to go on a journey of exploration together. Okay, as we have Kendra from Zip Travel, the owner of Zip Travel, which is our travel partner. She's going to be on here. We haven't had her on in a bit. She's a lot of fun.
Yes.
And she's very busy. And we've been trying to work this out for months of getting her back on the show. So I'm happy to have her back on. And, she used to work for the Disney park. So she's been in and around theme parks like her entire life. So she has a lot of perspective on that. And then basically just going to talk about the Disney stuff. But they also did have, along with the rising of prices, they did announce some things, some improvements, some plussing of the parks, I suppose, to offset that. So that is what we're going to talk about on the show today. But before we do that, I just want to remind everybody, if you are watching us on YouTube, please like this video and subscribe to the channel. And if you're not watching us on YouTube or you didn't know we had video versions of the show, you can find us over on YouTube at CTM Podcast. And of course, if you're listening to us on, the good old trusty audio podcast form, we are on all the major platforms there. Just ask you to please subscribe and leave us a review if you are able to. We would greatly appreciate it. It helps us continue to grow the show around here. So, all right. And as we said, we have a special guest on the show, which we've been trying to find a time for everybody to work this out because we're all very busy. And Kendra's very busy as she is the owner of Zip Travel Co., which has been our travel agency partner for a long time.
5 years.
5 years.
But yeah, now I feel old. It's like when people say, "Hey, do you know the PlayStation is 30 years old today?" I'm like, "Thanks a lot for that info." But yes, it has been for a while. But we're happy to have Kendra Wolfe on the show yet again. So Kendra, welcome to the show.
Hey, howdy, hey, everybody.
See, and she's got that nice Southern charm. Puts you in a good mood. You're just like, oh, it's all gonna be okay. So, yes. So Kendra you've been around, theme park, Disney World for a very long time.
A very, very long time. Very long time.
Mm-hmm.
Not to make you feel bad.
Well, I'm just getting older, so it's okay. With age comes wisdom, and I feel like I have some of that.
There you go. That's the benefit. And if you have age without wisdom, that's not a good one.
That's true. That's not a good.
Yeah,
that's not
it's
a
not
good
a way.
concept.
It's not a way to go through life. But so we're going to go through the news, and Kendra's going to join us along the entire time here, and we're just going to talk about because there is some interesting news that just dropped as of this morning. I don't think it's surprising, but it is. I guess you could say there's been reactions to it as this happens. Is that Disney decided to increase prices, as they typically do, rather, I would call it pretty aggressively.
Yeah, not unexpected, though.
Right, like I said, not unexpected, but rather aggressively. So we're going to talk about what they did raise prices on, and then give some insight or thoughts into what we think about this and everything like that. So, like I said, price increases have come to Walt Disney World as they do basically every October. Mm-hmm. So we're going to go through ticket prices, lightning lanes, annual passes, tours, and enchanting extras, and everything else here. So Jamie, let's start with ticket prices.
Okay. So ticket pricing, generally speaking, went up about $5, which doesn't seem like a lot, but it does go higher in certain days, because it's all tiered now. It's like the date-based pricing. It's not fixed anymore, basically. So for Magic Kingdom, the cheapest ticket is now like for a day ticket, like one day, is $149, and the most expensive is now $209. So it is increased. It has gone over that $200 threshold.
Oh, whoa.
There we go.
Oh.
Yeah. And that jumped up $10 from last year. Epcot, the range is $129 to $199. Now, it is $209 for New Year's Eve, but that is the most expensive day of the year for Epcot because of the celebration they do.
They charge you more to go to the time where you don't want to be there?
I don't personally want to be there.
A lot of people want to be there.
I
though.
know,
There's a lot of people who want to be there.
That's so true. And that went up $10 and $15 respectively from the lower end to the high end. Hollywood Studios is at $139 to $204. It's an increase of $10 both ways. Animal Kingdom, they're sticking with that $119. It's not going up the lowest price, but it goes up to $184 for the highest. I'm thinking, and I think it was Blog Mickey that wrote this. They said that they're keeping the $119 so they can justify, hey, the prices still start at $119.
Yes.
And then
that is all about marketing.
It's all marketing
of your
for sure.
of your things. Yeah.
But you can now buy through the end of 2026, and new prices go into effect immediately. And I looked, and you can also, and Kendra, you can talk about this too. Like, you can also book hotels. I checked earlier for November, and I couldn't book a package.
Well, we got an email just this morning.
Okay.
That said that those have opened up.
Oh, okay. All right. Cool.
Now, I will say, depending on when you're listening to this and how all of it works out, it could be that it is fully open. It could be that there are some things open. We know that when Disney rolls out anything, sometimes it's a little glitchy.
Right.
Our friend Stitch tends to take over things, but for the most part, everything should be rolled out all the way through the end of next year.
Perfect. Okay. That's good deal.
So I think on the tickets, the big thing that's going to stick out to people is going over $200 per day. I think that is the thing that's going to stick out, because obviously they were getting close the last few years, and they finally took that leap pretty aggressively.
Well, and you have to think about this too. If families are going to the Orlando area and their base is not Disney, okay, and they're trying to hit multiple different properties, going into Disney is now going, let's say Magic Kingdom, because, everybody wants to go to Magic Kingdom. Not everybody, but a lot of people. If that's, your wheelhouse, you've got the most amount of rides there. You've got parades and fireworks and all the things that kind of checks all the boxes for what a Disney day would be for a family.
Right.
And now you're looking at possibly over $200 per person. And then you add in Lightning Lane, which I know we'll talk about later. And then you add in dining, and you add in parking and Suvies, and that becomes a very different looking day.
Yes. Yeah. Well, I think the one to me, you're right. Magic Kingdom's the one where, it's the most visited theme park in the world still, even though, attendance wise, which is not something like we can talk about when we get to the discussion part about some of the idea behind what they've been doing ever since 2020. But the idea of raising Animal Kingdom anything at all, with all the construction going on, essentially with 5 things to do there, it's like, what, $35 per ride before Lightning Lane, essentially. That one to me is the wildest one of doing that.
Yeah.
Which does make me wonder, and this is something, and we'll find out pretty soon in the earnings call, because, if you look at the attendance, Disney doesn't mention their attendance, but if you look at the metrics of it where you can see, the attendance has been rather flat, which is not unexpected, but the revenue keeps going up because they're charging more, basically more people are spending as they come through the gate. It does make me wonder if there have been, of course, if the reports were true that this summer the attendance was really down, if this is a way to try and make up that difference by, small. That's something I am curious about, but when's the earnings call there in November?
Yeah, it's like November 13th or something.
Okay.
12th? I don't know, something like that.
But it's not unexpected. They do this basically every year to raise prices.
Right.
Yeah. That did happen. I was very shocked to see it go from $199 to almost $210 on some of these. And even Hollywood Studios going over $200. And Epcot, they just decided to all take the leap together here on this. But
and I will say, you can no longer visit multiple parks in a week, if that makes sense. Like Universal has made their resort a week destination, and we're seeing less and less families go between the two, because this particular pricing will now be matched by other resort properties across Orlando as well.
Yep. That's the one thing that always, yes, Disney basically sets the upper limits on what to charge. Because other places like Universal doesn't want to be looked at as the discount option. And so they want to price it as a premium. So when Disney does this, of course, others are going to follow. And that is something when we get to the more of the discussion, I am curious about that because that's something I have seen as well of, I do think a lot more people, at the very least, will spend time at both destinations much more equally or distributed more than it was even like, say, 10 years ago, maybe even 5 years ago. And if this is
yes, very much, even 5 years ago, we're seeing families choose either or, and it's no longer both.
Really? So you're seeing people actually make a choice. So that was something I was curious about, is if it was more of a split of more, 3 days at Universal, 2 at Disney, but you're seeing people just choosing, Universal as a whole trip instead of just trying to split that up.
Well,
for the most part, yes.
Interesting.
I mean, think about it though. Universal, they've got now 3 like full-fledged theme parks. They still have a water park, Volcano Bay. Sorry, you're a water park, and all the other like city walking stuff.
They finally started calling it a water park. Once Epic opened, they finally started calling it a water park.
Right.
Well, it also didn't help. Mark Woodbury essentially always says 3 parks. So even Mark Woodbury, the CEO of the Universal Parks, is like, it's a water park. Like, come on. I get it for the marketing. I get it. But
Yes.
All right.
Well, and there are times where that other theme park that's really a water park has to be closed due to weather.
Right. Well,
it's cold.
And they are going much more seasonal with that one too, starting in 2026. So
they are. Yes.
Yeah. All right. Well, yeah. We'll go through the other prices here, and then we'll look at all this as an all-encompassing thing here, and maybe give some more thoughts on it. But let's talk about lightning lanes because those went up as well.
Yeah. So multi-pass increased between $4 to $6 depending on what park it is. So now at the high end, you're going to see $45 for Magic Kingdom, $37 for Epcot, $39 for Hollywood Studios, and $35 for Animal Kingdom. And this is just my personal opinion, but paying $35 for a multi-pass at Animal Kingdom is not something I would choose to do.
Agreed.
I can justify buying a single pass for Flight of Passage, sure. But I don't think I would attempt to do the multi-pass unless, there's a couple of rides I really, really want to do. I just absolutely do not want to wait at all. But like lately, especially the last month or two, Animal Kingdom has been absolutely dead. And it just doesn't need it. Again, in my opinion. Kendra, here's a question. How soon do you think that we'll hit that $50 high-end multi-pass at Magic Kingdom? Because it's coming. We're almost there.
Yeah, and because people continue to purchase it, that's why it's going to continue to hit that a lot sooner than we could have ever even imagined, especially in the TA world. Everybody has their own stance on this. Everybody does things differently. Your family is different than my family. And some people, maybe this is their once in a lifetime trip. They're never going back to Disney World and they want to hit it all. So they're going to pay it.
Right.
And then you've got other families who are like, absolutely not. We go once a year. We're just going to wait in line. If we don't get to this ride this time, well, it is what it is. It's people are so split down the middle and have so many opinions on this particular product. And in the TA community, it really stinks because, years ago, we used to really be able to help and bundle it in a package. And now we advise that we can no longer bundle it in your package, and it all is driven through the app.
Which is interesting to me the way, and this, like Disneyland, they include the multi-pass in the tickets.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, wouldn't that just be so much easier to roll it on in there and people don't even have to think about it. It's just there. It just comes with it.
It would be great.
It would be great.
That would be a great option. And there are so many people have so many theories on why they don't do it. They're doing it because they want to make more money. They're not doing it because the system couldn't handle it. It's too complex. I mean, there's so many reasons, so many theories why.
Yeah.
For simplicity, for a family who has never been to Disney, and we have situated their package, and we have situated, their dining. They've decided to add dining plan, and we've gone through all of that, and then now they're about to travel, and we're like, okay, now there's this next hurdle that you have to cross. Mm-hmm. So, and at least it is prior to the trip instead of getting up at 7 a.m. every single day of your vacation. I mean, at least we have that.
Right.
But it feels like one more really huge hurdle to cross.
Yeah.
Before you leave for your vacation. Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
So,
yeah.
Having it included in a package or just the ticket would I feel would make life so much more simpler,
especially for you guys.
But even the client traveling, they already know up front this is included, and we set timelines and things like that, and it just, I don't know, simplicity is always easier. But
yeah,
what do I know?
I agree. Well, and it probably is, if I were to guess, some sort of technology related issue, as they have had issues with this in the past. I think they have gotten better on the IT, but historically they still have some issues that pop up here and there. Now, the question I have had about lightning lanes in general, and really it makes it even worse with the ticket pricing increases, because prior to 2020, the tickets included fast passes. So now that's been pulled out. So not only ticket prices are now over $200, now your lightning lanes can be up to $45, which means to have the same seemingly perks that you had in, say, 2018, 2019, you now be paying $255 per ticket. And that gets, that is where it also is almost, I look at it as a tax in many ways, if you want to look at it like a Disney tax. But how high, and I've had this question many times, how high can they realistically take lightning lanes? Because I think once you start approaching $50, you're getting into percentage points of an actual day ticket. And I think they're gonna find out, I'm sure.
And they're gonna push it as far as they can.
Yeah.
I mean, why not? It's supply and demand situation. If people are gonna continue to pay for it, then we'll just continue to raise the price of it.
I will say, however, the caveat with that is that they do have a comparison with looking at Universal, and they do offer the Express Pass, and you can do unlimited, or you can do like one time per day, but it's essentially very, very similar to a Premier Pass that Disney already has. So if they start pricing their multi-pass, that's very similar to their like Express Pass, like pricing.
Right.
That doesn't look good.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I think we're going to see Express Pass jump as well.
Oh, it will.
At Universal. Again, one does it, the other one matches. Because again, they don't want to be seen as a discount park.
Yeah.
And a discount experience. So I think it's going to be very interesting over these next 2.5 years as things in the park develop that we've heard and actually open. It's going to be very, very interesting to see how this evolves, because it's evolved so much in 5 years.
Right.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
I think personally speaking, I think the timelines are longer. Unless maybe Disney goes quicker. Bob Iger himself said it in a Variety article that theme park construction takes 5 years at least. So to me, I've been looking the whole time at Animal Kingdom. You've got at least 3 more years, if not more, and that thing's going to open in piecemeal too. It's not going to open all at the same time. Is my guess. It won't
open all at once. You're correct.
And that's the thing about this is like if it keeps going down this path, and I think and Disney has said this before. I mean, people have complained that they're pricing out the middle class, and I think that part of their strategy is to go after these top earners. There was an article talking about this summer theme park attendance was basically held up by the top earners out there. That was the most people coming to theme parks. And the thing is, I understand, like, if you look at 2018, 2019, all the people who are there was never a slow time in the parks. And people complain about wait times all the time. So as a thing, you raise prices too. Obviously that's going to help with, it cuts down on the amount of demand due to that. for a better park experience. But at the same time of the perks not matching it. And I think that's the thing. I don't think Disney's ever going to lower prices, but I do think as time goes on, when you start getting up here on these prices, it's not that different or maybe even cheaper to go to Europe for 2 weeks or to do these other experiences that people in that category can do. I mean, they have options. And I think that's where Disney eventually is going to have to really look at these, what the value of what you're getting when you're paying this. And I wonder where, in the next 5 to 10 years, especially with more competition, how all this evolves is going to be very interesting. I'll put it this way. I was surprised to see them jump the prices this much with as much construction going on. But at the same time, I'm not. Like, I'm surprised, but I'm not, given that we've been covering Disney for like almost a decade now. But
And before we move on to something else, I just want to say single passes, Tron, Seven Dwarfs, Mine Train, and Flight of Passage all increased by $1 on the high end. Rise of the Resistance stayed at $25, and then Guardians of the Galaxy increased $3. I wonder why nobody buys a Guardians of the Galaxy. Moneyland. I'm just kidding.
yeah.
That just makes sense. And also no changes to Premier Pass pricing. It's about the same. So
Well, they're giving you something. They didn't
There
raise
you
Rise of
go.
the Resistance and the Premier
there's
Pass.
some. But anyway, moving on.
Like, we'll give them some reprieve here. We won't raise 2 of them.
Yeah.
And then talk about annual passes. Those went up as well.
Okay, so Incredipass is now $1,629.
And I want to stop for a moment because I have been going to Disney my entire life. I just want to park it here for a second.
Okay.
And I remember my parents bought us annual passes for Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I'm dating myself, but I think I was in junior high school when they bought us these annual passes.
Okay.
And they were $139.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I know it's been a long time ago, but when you start seeing $139 and we're now at $1,600, because I currently I have an Incredipass because I don't live in Florida,
Right.
and I don't know that I'm going to be able to renew this pass.
It's a lot.
Especially because you have to pay it all up front. You can't do a payment
Yes.
plan. Yeah.
Yep.
Correct. I don't know that I'm going to do that. My family doesn't have it because they don't come down as much as I do.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know if I can justify that.
Well, that one went up the most. It
Yes.
jumped up $80.
Yes.
In
This
1 year, that's a lot.
this is very similar to what the pricing strategy on streaming does. So if you want the no ads, that is going to continue to go up more because they actually don't want you to pay for the no ads because they make the most money off of running ads. I think Disney doesn't like people having the Incredipass as much. They would much rather you be priced out of that and buy day tickets. Or
Kendra,
packages.
do you remember I think it was pre-COVID, maybe even before that, they had the, I think they called it a Premier Passport where you could do Disney World and Disneyland also together.
I do.
Wasn't it like $2,000 or something? Wasn't it really close to
It was very very whoa, when we think of it now, you know what I'm saying? When you start looking at these pricings compared to that, and I don't remember, but it was very close to that.
But it's crazy to me to look at this new price of Incredipass and go, wow, we are approaching the old Premier Passport pass, and that's just insane. But
wild.
Anyway, so it went up $80, and then Sorcerer Pass only went up $20. It's still under $1,100, so $1,099. $1,099. So just barely under there. Pirate Pass went up looks like $40 to $869. Pixie Pass went up $20 to $489. And then, like I said, the biggest jump was Incredipass at 5.2%. Lowest was Sorcerer at 1.9%. Yeah.
Well, and this is off the heels of we've talked about many times about this period of time where Disney's building all the things that they are building. in a period of time where they have increased competition, obviously, like Kendra just mentioned. Like, people are going to Universal more. They have a brand new theme park. They're being very, very aggressive. That's not going to slow down, which is why Disney's building all the stuff that they're building. This time period is interesting for Disney because they've never really been in this position, and they were just offering 2 different annual pass holder deals or sales, whatever you want to call it, to try and entice more annual pass holders. Because I think part of their strategy is probably going to be for the next few years. I think a lot of people may look at Disney, and before you even talk about prices, and say, well, we're just going to wait to go, even if we want to go, until all this stuff is done. Which means you entice locals more, so you get more annual pass holders. They're running a lot of Florida resident deals. So to raise prices on the annual passes while also trying to entice them through previous discounts, and I'm sure they're also going to continue. They already have some deals running into 2026. More discounts are going to come on the way for next summer as well. This is where it just becomes interesting to me of raising prices, but at the same time, they're still going to run discounts on this stuff. It's very, I feel like they want to get to a certain price point, and they determined this back in 2020, and they're just slowly pulling it up to whatever that is. And who knows what that number is, but I feel like that they've been wanting to do this for a while.
Definitely interesting on our front to see. Because, I mean, if we're being super honest, our Disney numbers are down this year. But I think that's also the state of, our economy as well. Things are a little different.
Right.
Than they have been. And, but our Disney numbers are down.
Yeah.
Our Europe numbers are up.
See, and that's interesting.
Yeah.
Are the Universal, I would assume the Universal numbers are up though?
They are, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like by 50%.
Okay. I mean, that goes in line with what's been my assumption. Obviously, this is, it's anecdotal to your agency and stuff that you've seen and we've seen. But from comments that I have seen on, on the YouTube channel and on people that comment on the podcast, that's been the vibe I've gotten, is that whether that's because obviously a new park is going to be a draw for people. But I also think with the excitement that could come with all the things Disney's building, why go now, especially being so expensive, where you can just say, well, let's go when this stuff's done, which may mean 5+ years. And I think that's the interesting little thing that Disney's in right now is they're going to try and pull people into the parks while still trying to wanting people to still come when this stuff is done. It's a predicament, I guess I would just say.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and I think a lot of things too is they're trying to shift clients within their portfolio of products, right?
Yes.
Like you saw Disney Cruise Line run that incredible offer, and then now they silently launched a Visa card holder promotion for Disney Cruise Line, and we don't really see those. And those types of things are happening. They have offered some really good ABD, Adventure by Disney products. Pricing. So they're trying to shift people within the products. And then also the big push is for Disneyland 70th, getting people out to Disneyland for the 70th anniversary. Everything has pointed to that. I don't know if you've watched the marketing and the commercials, but even Dancing with the Stars, it's Disneyland 70th. That was last night.
Mm-hmm.
Everything is pointing to their 70th right now. And that's kind of like the flagship product.
Right.
As far as where the push is going. And then, of course, we see the cruise stuff because then they're launching all of these new cruise ships.
Right.
So it is very interesting to see how they're pushing the portfolio and how, which I'll tell you all day long, Disney Cruise Line is my favorite cruise line. I'm sorry to anybody else who's listening out there. Here's my DSMs, my business development managers for other products, but Disney Cruise Line is far superior. I have a group of 12 on a plane coming home right now from Europe who did Princess Cruise Line, and it's just not the same product. They are avid Disney Cruise Line travelers, and they were like, we're going to try something new. And I was like, okay, let's do it. And a group of 12 of them. And the past 10 days, the text that I've gotten is like, Disney would not handle it this way. Disney doesn't do it, like, they wouldn't do it like this. Disney doesn't do it like this.
Mm-hmm.
The food is better on Disney. This is this, you know, so I've gotten so many texts over, and they didn't have a bad time. It's just, they love a product so much, and they wanted to do something different. And so, you know, I know we weren't going to talk about cruise, but it just kind of happened to come up. So,
oh no, cruise. I've heard
yeah.
nothing, but I mean, I've really not heard anybody say they don't like Disney cruises. I've heard from a lot of people that the experience on the Disney Cruise Line is much more in line with, say, the type of service you got in the parks back in, like, say, the 90s.
100%.
Yeah.
1,000%, actually.
Yeah.
If I could go on a Disney cruise tomorrow, I would be packed in an hour. I'd be ready to go. All right, let's go.
Yeah.
We're ready. I would.
Yeah.
I would. I love it so much. Even my girls love it. And my husband, he says all the time, he tolerates the Disney park because we love them. But he was like, I'd much rather go on a Disney cruise. Disney parks are a quest for fun. A Disney cruise is an actual vacation.
Oh, I love that.
He says, yeah, he says that all the time. He's
That's
like, yeah,
so
we'll go on a
true.
cruise.
Well,
It is.
what do you think the reason is? Is it the clientele that does cruise lines, and therefore the service is better on the cruise lines than the clientele they view as different for, say, going to theme parks?
I don't think so. I think it's because you pay one price, and there's nothing else. I mean, there are a few add-ons that obviously you can do once you get on the ship, you know, like adult dining, drink packages, not really packages, but like a la carte drinks. But it's just, it's all taken care of. You're not having to run around. There's no apps. I mean, yes, they do have an app, but it's not, we don't have to make this lightning lane pass at this time, and then we got to get here, and we got to run across the park. I mean, the ship is only so big, right?
Right.
And there are only so many people that can be on that ship.
Right.
So it's not a quest for fun. It's an actual vacation. Mom and Dad get to have a really amazing trip, and the kids don't want to leave the kids club. And even my teenagers who wanted to be in the teen club. And so the last trip we went on cruise wise, Greg and I really got to, hey honey, how are you? I get to see your face. You know, we got to sit on the balcony and, you know, drink our caffeine or either go to the adult only area. It just, you slow down and you get to be on vacation. It's not a quest.
Well, and also, you know, obviously this isn't an ad for the cruise line, but it kind of is. They have shows, they have characters, they have dining. The only thing they don't have is the attractions, the rides.
I mean, they have some of the water rides now.
I mean, the water
some of the
rides.
ships,
but
and when you think about families being able to be in that Disney bubble, because they're really, even when you're in the park, it's hard to be in that bubble because you have your iPhone or your, you know, whatever smartphone you have, because you're on the app constantly. So that means you're still, you know, accessing all of your emails and all of your text messages and, you know, your respective social medias and things like that. Well, on a cruise, you just kind of shut it all down. I mean, you can get internet, don't get me wrong, but when we get on a cruise, we shut it off.
Yeah.
And it's just family time. And I think people are craving that because there's so much after COVID, quote unquote, ended. And we all came out of quarantine. It's like it ignited something in our schools, in our sports, in all of the extracurricular activities. But we are more busy now than we have ever been. And I don't love it. I don't love it. And I said to somebody the other day, I'm stretched so thin. I just want to be with my people. And if you can ever give families a chance to just be with their people in a bubble that's safe and magical, I mean, I'm choosing that all day long.
Yeah. No, that's a good point. I mean, I think that could be a whole episode topic on that. 'Cause I also think of a lot of people are, especially with more, I've talked about where I think the theme parks are only going to continue to gain in popularity, like Disney, Universal, and some, you know, we've even talked about these middle-sized parks. Silver Dollar City and Dollywood are doing some great things. Those are some fantastic parks. And I do wonder
Dollywood, Dollywood is amazing. If people have never been, it is, I mean, you think Disney is clean. Dollywood is the cleanest park you will ever step foot in.
Well, and I can say the same thing. It's a sister park to Silver Dollar City, where we grew up.
Yeah.
We went there all the time. And Dollywood's getting that ride system that has been rumored to go to Epic Universe. It's that water coaster ride system they're opening up in 2026. And when you look at all that, I think that theme parks will continue to grow, because I think in a world where there is more AI, everything's online, people do want actual experiences. And I think that you can talk about the cruise line of actually being able to go and unplug. That makes a lot of sense. And so I think, if the economy, and this is one thing I have a prediction about, if the economy does start to get back to where it was, say, the 2018, 2019 range, I think you're going to see cruise lines and theme parks explode, because you're still seeing, it's not looking at where people, like, especially with inflation, everything like that has been, you haven't seen a massive drop off in the attendance of these parks, even with the prices going up. So if there are people that have more discretionary income, they want more things to do that are not sitting in front of a screen. I think you could see both of them, just especially Disney and Universal, but probably Dollywood, Silver Dollar City, just have immense growth over a period of 2 to 3, 4 years.
Well, and you even think about families will scrimp and save, or even open a credit card to be able to take their children to Disney or on vacation. They just will, because they want the memories. They want their children to have those memories. They want to have time with their families. They've worked crazy hours at their job, and they just want to get away.
Yeah.
And theme parks, Disney cruises, whatever we want to say, provides an escape from the madness of life.
Yeah. Agreed.
Exactly.
Completely agree. And not to mention as well, during all this time, general Florida travel is only going up.
Yeah.
Like, it's it's interesting because it's kind of becoming regional, but I think it was up, I don't know the numbers, but like 20%. And it's looking to go even further in the next 5 to 10 years is the outlook. So,
nice.
Yeah. I don't know if and on the note with the whole Florida travel stuff, we see these commercials. Obviously, you're in Florida, so you may not see these commercials, but they are pushing, we are more than theme parks.
Right.
And so they are pushing these commercials. I mean, talking about the Everglades and just the space, the whole Florida experience, not just theme parks. So it's very interesting to see that as well from, a consumer who I am. I love Florida. I've tried to get my husband to move. I want to live in Orlando or the surrounding area. He will not do it.
He should. It's great. Listen, you move here, you get a pair of Crocs, you become Florida man. I talked down on Crocs for a very long time as a Missourian, and it didn't take me long to get down here. Yeah, and I was just like, I love Crocs. Crocs are great.
That's true, you did.
So it's really cool to see, because, yes, we specialize, and we've done Disney for years, but we specialize in family travel. And that, my heart is to be able to help families travel with ease and feel comfortable in doing things that they wouldn't normally do outside of that. So that's what my passion has always been, because I love to travel and I love to take my kids different places.
Yeah.
So yes, Nikki has a very special place in my heart. It was my very first big girl job when I worked in Orlando. I actually lived in Orlando for a little while and worked for Disney, and that was my first really big girl job. And I loved it, and I loved all the magic I got to help create.
Aww.
And being able to do that and to help families has always been just another very special place in my heart, because I love it so much. And then to be able to give other women and men the opportunity to help provide for their families is a huge part of what Zip does as well.
Yeah.
Well, and we've talked about before, but I mean, you look at studies that show too, families that go on vacations and spend time together. Like, these are things that actually have more of an impact many times than education itself. Like, it is an important thing to be able to do. And I agree. I think it's good to spend time with your family. Is not a bad thing. You should like your family. That's not
for the most part. Yes, you should.
Everyone needs their time. Yeah, everyone needs their time.
Yeah.
But all right, let's talk about more things that went up in price. Is that the next topic?
Yeah, real briefly, tours and enchanting extras like Keys to the Kingdom, Behind the Seeds, Savor the Savannah, Wild Africa Trek, Droid Experience, and Savvy's Workshop all went up in price.
Yeah.
Again with the
Listen, I'm being fair. I have to keep it.
fireworks, dessert parties, capture your moment. That did not, like, stuff like that is still the same, but otherwise.
Well, let's be honest about those firework dessert parties, and I am very guilty of purchasing those because I love it, and I love to be away from the crowd and enjoy a beverage, an adult beverage with some dessert, and sit with my children. Notice I said sit with my children in a nice, comfortable chair and watch Tinkerbell fly over us. Those dessert parties are no joke, and it hurts every time I swipe my sweet little credit card and I buy one. And I don't do it often. I really don't, because they are, but man, if you've never done one, it is, it really, it will spoil you. It will completely spoil you, and you never want to be part of Gen Pop again when you're watching fireworks.
We've done one before. It's true.
It is.
We did the after one, I think.
We did the after one.
Yes, I've done that one before too, and that's really nice too, because you get to exit the park not in a mad dash.
That is, especially Magic Kingdom. That is very true.
Yeah,
for sure.
Well, and have you? I will say, any of those enchanted extras. The only one I have not done is at the Wild Africa Trek.
You got to do it.
I know, and for whatever reason, I've just never done that one. But the Keys to the Kingdom one is hands down my absolute favorite. If anybody loves the history of Disney and just the nostalgia of it and getting to see behind the scenes, and it's a really neat one. It really is.
Yeah, we did it in 2023. Is that right? 23?
I don't know. The 2020s all blend in together somewhere in that time range.
I think it was last time we did it, so it was like 2 years ago. And since then, dang, the prices are way higher than they were.
Yeah.
Like I think we paid like 112. I think 112 per person, and now it's like on the higher end, it's 189. And
we can thank all of our influencers for that.
Yes,
that's true.
Yes, we can.
I mean, they just have. I mean, when you've got influencers out there with 2 million followers, and they're saying you got to do this. I mean, supply and demand.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
You're not wrong there. This is why I say if anybody calls me an influencer, I get very upset. I'm like, how dare you?
All right, let's.
I see you guys more as educators.
Okay.
Me educating people is dangerous, but I mean, yeah.
No, I'm not. I'm not.
I view it as I'm just a guy that talks in front of a camera and a microphone and just gives my opinions, whichever way they lie. And then sometimes people are like, I agree. And sometimes like, that guy's insane. I was like, well, either way.
You could be educators of fun.
There you go.
Yeah.
Professors of fun. That sounds
that's even better.
That sounds fancier.
It does. And now you need a plaque for your desk.
I'll order it. I'll see if it'll come in. Get a certification. All right. Well, let's move on and talk about Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique. It has debuted with simplified package offerings. Yeah.
So they had announced a couple months ago that they were going to change the packages and then reintroduce, I guess, for the first time, Fairy Godmother. She's now meeting inside of Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique, which is really cool. So here are the packages now. So you have a fairy tale package. It's $119. Includes a Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique shirt, the sash, the bag. You get your hair done, nail polish, and the makeup. That's $119. It was previously like $89, $79. It was below $100, so it's gone up quite a bit.
By simplified, they mean more expensive.
But, well, you'll see what I'm talking about. Just a minute. Just a minute.
Like, we've simplified it for you. Just give us more of your money.
Then there's the Kingdom package, and that's $229. And that's the princess gown, the crown, the wand, necklace, sash, the bag, makeup, hair, and nail polish. So basically, you're just adding the dress and like the crown and the wand. Everything else is from the fairy tale package. And then you have the adventure package, and this is the night. You get a night shirt, like a knight in shining armor, sword, shield, and hairstyling with gel. And I believe I didn't put the price on this. I apologize. I think it was $59 for that. The signature package of $450 that used to be there was not listed anymore. Neither was the Encanto package that they had. So they are taking away the very higher price options. Basically, like if you want the full experience, most people are going to do the Kingdom package. I mean, with the dress and everything included. I don't know. I just
wish I could get some better hairstyles, man. Oh, the slick back bun situation, that's tough, especially with kids who have curly hair. I mean, that is tough.
So we, when we did it, 2.5 years ago with our daughter, I went with her obviously. And, we had a couple of girls in the group who had very curly, like thick curly hair. And they did they did such a good job, like slicking that hair back, and like it was just a big poof in the back, and like it looked gorgeous. And there was one girl who was a little older. I think she was like 11. She did not want her hair up. Like she said, she's like, I did not want my hair up. It was shorter, but still curly. So they styled it the best they could, based on what she asked for. And like, it was still down, but they listened. I mean, they didn't like force her to put it up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, I mean, like she was also a little older too.
That would be awkward.
Well, most of the hairstyles though are in a slick back ponytail or a bun or something like that.
Yeah. And I will tell you, I mean, for the listeners, my oldest daughter looks like Merida. I'm not joking. Thick,
she does kind of look like Meredith. Yeah.
I mean, that's what she looks like. I swear they were watching us in the parks when she was little, because Merida has so many of Reese's mannerisms. I'm not even joking.
That is so cute.
And so, we went, and Reese still talks about it. She was like, I cannot believe you let me do that. I said, you first off wanted to do that, but put all of her hair in that bun, and how slick back she was. Bless her sweet bones. I mean, it was a very not fun experience for that baby. And I think we made it through 30 minutes of lunch, and she said, Mommy, please take it down. It hurts so bad.
Oh no.
So maybe they've gotten better since then. Ruby looks like Merida. I have children who look very different because Ruby is not biologically ours. She's 100% ours, but she does not share our DNA. But she looks like Moana, and so her hair is obviously very, very different. She is an island princess. That's what we call her, because she is Marshallese. So everybody's probably Googling that right now. But her experience was very different. Very, very different, because her hair is different. But she wanted blonde hair like Elsa. So she got the braid thing that was put in her hair. But we were on the Disney cruise when we did hers.
Gotcha.
But for those of you that have curly hair out there, think twice about that bun. That was a situation.
I'll remember that.
Yeah, I think remember that when you're getting your getting your bun.
Like be careful out there, guys.
That's funny.
All right. Well, those went up. So that's all I think that's all the price increases that we have.
For this, yes, currently. I'm sure there'll be more coming. We did say like a week ago that the shirt prices, like merchandise pricing, has gone up a little bit. They're going up. Yeah.
So I think a bigger shock would be if anything went down in price.
True. I mean, food prices will also go up. Well, so it's everything.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, outside of food prices, I suppose Disney tried to go the give you bad news and mix it with good news coming to try and justify the price increases, I suppose.
Yeah.
So they did announce some changes in the park in terms of some of these rides. So the first one we have here is that Rockin Roller Coaster, starring the Muppets, is going to open in the summer of 2026, which is about the timeline that I was assuming that this was not going to be a very long refurb or changeover for this ride.
Right, because right now Rockin Roller Coaster is still open as Aerosmith. So they have not announced.
I personally think that will not close until after the new year, because we're headed into the very busy season at Disney. So I don't think that's closing until after the new year.
Yeah.
So it's not going to be much like changes inside, except for
they're just kicking Steven Tyler out of there.
But we also learned more details about Scooter. And this is directly from Disney. It said, side by side with a dedicated team of Penguin audio engineers, Scooter, in his capacity as band manager, will be trying hard to convince the Electric Mayhem to stop laying down tracks so they won't be late to their own concert. This will be the first time Scooter has ever been imagined as an audio animatronics figure, and I hear he might not be the only Muppet audio animatronics figure joining the attraction. We'll have to wait and learn more about that. So obviously there's going to be more, but so far that he is an animatronic. So the penguins, are they just like animated?
Probably.
Okay.
Be my guess.
All right.
I honestly am so excited for this overlay or refurb or however we're calling it. I think it's going to be so cute.
Yeah.
We love the Muppets in this house. I mean, of course, it was sad to see Muppet 3D, or it will be sad to see Muppet, or it was. We were there when it, like, one of the last showings, and it's sad to see that go.
Yeah.
But I love that this is going to be their new home. I really do. I think it's going to be really cute.
Yeah. I mean, you know, we're not big Muppets fans, but like, I know there's so many people that were upset that that Muppet Vision 3D was leaving. But it's like, here you go, you guys, here, you can have another overlay on an attraction.
Well, I've said before, I think it was due to, I don't think Disney anticipated the response to it being shut down.
Absolutely. They knew.
No, but
I
don't think they thought it was the level that it got. I don't think that they understood that was going to happen, because they if they were going to plan to do this, they would have announced this along with what they announced at D23. And so this is one of the easier ones, because Aerosmith is not a relevant band anymore. And you can just throw an overlay on this, and it's not going to take that long to do. The ride's going to stay the same. You're just going to have this intro scene be different, some decorations, and you can put the Muppets in there.
Well, and don't you think, I mean, they're still having to pay them royalties. Their music is playing 24/7 in these parks.
True.
Mm-hmm.
That's true.
And listen, I love Aerosmith. I was there when right after this ride opened. I got to meet this band because, MGM was my home. That's what was my home park. That's where I worked, which is now Hollywood Studios, for those that don't know. But, I mean, and I got to meet the band, and they're amazing. But like you said, the relevance of Aerosmith is very different now than it was in the 90s.
Yeah.
In terms, early 2000s.
Well, technically, I think they're retired now. They're not even touring. I think Steven Tyler's voice is done. So they're not even.
I mean,
yeah.
He is like 80 or something.
Listen,
right?
he's
sang older
in Armageddon, okay, in that movie. While terrible
and that was early 2000s.
Yeah,
that was early 2000s.
And while terrible and great at the same time, I enjoy that movie.
All right.
Yes.
Well, there you go.
But I'm excited about Muppets. I can't wait to see how they do it. I think it's going to be cute.
Good. It'll be cute. Yeah.
And the next one we have, and this one's interesting, and I think I know the reason as to why they're doing this one, is Anna, Elsa, and Kristoff, audio animatronics that are in Frozen Ever After, are getting an upgrade.
Yeah, so they say they're taking inspiration from the advancement seen in figures at World of Frozen in Hong Kong, Disneyland. So basically, they're just going to look more realistic.
They're not going to have that like projection face, basically.
Right. But y'all seen the video of those in Hong Kong and how amazing that is. I'm very excited to have that, because how many times did you go through the ride in Epcot and their faces were stuck?
Or they just have the screen that had like the cross or the X on it that shows like where it's supposed, like the computer generated whatever. That was unsettling.
Yes,
yeah.
Yes, it was.
Now, this is just my opinion on this, but if you look at Disney, they're doing a lot of plussing in the parks in terms of upgrading attractions, Buzz Lightyear, some other things. They're kind of going through methodically the past year and a half, especially in doing this. I personally think this is due to like an Epic Universe effect. The quality and level of that park and the immersion. And this is one of the things I figured would happen is it is well, you've been to Epic Universe, haven't you, Kendra?
Yeah.
Okay. So the immersion and the detail, and even for Universal, they're going to have to do the same thing, because the difference in the parks, even on Universal's side, is vastly different. I think a lot of the stuff Disney, especially if they're going to justify these higher prices, plussing these things up to the quality of immersion that not only Universal has at Epic Universe, but even over, like I said, Hong Kong and some of the other foreign parks that do a lot of the things very well. I mean, Tokyo Disneyland is often told to us constantly that it's the best Disney park. And so getting those things up to those levels, I think is something that they're doing for that reason of some of it optics, but some of it is also like, our stuff, like this looks weird. We need to update this. And this is why I love competition, because stuff like this is why you get this, because it's like, oh, look at what they did. Oh, we need to up this up a little bit.
Well, and just think about where technology is now compared to where it was when the ride first debuted. Like we've come light years from that in technology.
Yeah. It's true.
So it's always good to update your product. Always, always good.
And it's debuting early next year, so it won't take that long.
Yes.
Just wait till they get AI implemented, and then they go rogue.
Oh man.
Oh
man.
And along with other animatronic news, Disney shared a first look at a new animatronic in the Zootopia show that is going into Animal Kingdom.
Yep, Clawhauser. He's going to be an animatronic, and he's kind of like introducing you to the show. Like, here we go. You're here with us, kind of thing.
It should have been the sloth.
Oh, okay.
He's cooler.
But so the show opens November 7th, so very soon. And they did announce that pass holder previews will be occurring on the 5th and the 6th before that. So if you want to go and you're a pass holder, you just got to get a park reservation and get on the virtual queue.
That's true.
They're doing that again. So
they'll last like a week and then it'll go away.
Right. No, it's only 2 days. So the 5th and the 6th.
I just mean when it actually officially opens, they'll probably do a virtual queue as well.
You think so?
They almost always do on new stuff. It just depends on how long it lasts. Typically.
No, maybe, possibly. I don't know. Are you excited for that one, Kendra?
That show definitely needed an overhaul. I mean, it just did. It did. And we are huge Zootopia fans in this house.
Okay.
My oldest loved it. Loved it. And we have such sweet memories of that. And now the little one likes it also. So we like it. And then, of course, now we found out that Robert Irwin is going to be a koala in the next movie. So everybody's really, yes.
That's so cute.
I know. And he said he would have his khaki on and everything. So it's just, I know, right?
Yeah.
So it was, we're huge Zootopia fans.
That's awesome. Yeah. Well, it should be good. Much better than Bug's Life, because I did not like that show.
Well, I don't like bugs, period. So,
that's a good point.
And especially something trying to sting me or crawl
Hated it.
on me. No, thank you.
Yep.
No, thank you.
Yep.
Well, that's all the news that we have. So we're going to ask Kendra, since you do specialize in booking trips and everything like that, some tips for booking for the rest of 2025, going into 2026, what you're seeing, and just your opinion on some things here. Pick your brain a little bit here.
So, like, when is a good time to go in 2026? Like, in what you're looking forward to, and what's opening and all that stuff.
So I would have said July. Oh my goodness, January or February. But now both of those months are really fully taken up with. You've got Marathon at the beginning of January, right after the holidays. And then you go straight into cheer and dance competitions. And then it's into Princess Weekend. So now we're all the way through February.
Yeah.
So I would have said those, because those used to be my go-to time, but now they're so busy. So incredibly busy.
I know.
And then March you start getting hit with spring break. And if you can stand the heat, and you book with us, we always give you our beat the heat guide. But summer is typically a really, really good time to go because they drop so many discounts.
And that has been the surprising thing since 2020 is that has shifted a lot. The summers are just not that busy. Yeah.
Best holiday to go on is 4th of July, because it's like the least busy.
I 100% agree with you. And like Jared was saying, 5 years ago, that was not the case.
Right.
And so, if you can handle the heat, as long as and I always tell people to book a nicer resort. That way you have a really good pool. You can go back in the middle of the day. So spend your money more so on your resort and less maybe on park tickets if you're having to be really budget conscious about things.
Yeah.
But July is an amazing time to go. I still like January and February, even though they're more busy months, because I like Festival of the Arts. It is my favorite festival at Epcot.
It's fun. It's good.
And I also like that it's not 4,000 degrees outside.
The best weather you'll find in Florida is you get that November till at least March, April.
February, yeah.
You don't have to worry about the humidity. It's much better weather.
Yeah. But then I also love the holidays at Disney. I love how Disney does Halloween. I love how Disney does Christmas. I love, and hopefully my children won't listen. I don't think they will. I won't let them listen to this episode. But we are coming down in December because
Yay.
we want to do all of the Christmas stuff because we love it.
Yeah, it's so good at Christmas.
Theme parks at Christmas are.
It's my favorite time to go.
Good, yeah,
it's just magical. It's magical, like to the extra. I mean, it's so good.
Yeah,
but
for sure.
As far as booking is concerned, can you get last minute deals? Yes, you can, but I don't think you should bank on that.
Yeah.
You just shouldn't. The best time to book for next year is now.
Yeah.
Because you're going to lock in the best price because as we have talked about most of the show, Disney will do a price increase again. It's not just limited to the one that happened today. It's happening. It will happen again. And sometimes we see it happen 4 times a year. We've seen that.
Yeah.
So, that's not uncommon for that to happen. So once you're locked in, once your deposit has been paid, you're locked into that price, and it is the best price.
Yeah.
Well, especially considering I heard more rumblings of this rumor that was rumored last summer is that they may end up going with that surge pricing model, kind of like airlines. And if they do that, that means the longer you wait, it's kind of like airline prices. It's going to be more expensive the closer to when you want to go.
Well, that's what Universal does.
Universal does it, yeah. So I think I was surprised Disney didn't do it last summer. And I heard recently the rumblings of that yet again. So I think they'll probably do that sometime. I'll put it this way. I think sometime in the next few years for sure that will become a thing of much more dynamic pricing on tickets and everything like that.
Yeah.
Absolutely it will be. And then you guys know, as well as I'm sure a lot of your listeners know, the dynamic pricing at Universal, especially for Express Pass, I don't think it's going to be limited to Universal. As Disney is testing, and I quote, testing, new pricing, they're really filling out. And they've already done this, right? We know that Express Pass is dynamic as well, depending on, the season and the day that you go, even down to the day that you go.
Yeah.
So I think it's going to be even more dynamic as, I would not even be surprised if we see, I don't want to say it. I'm not going to say it, but I think.
Don't put it out there.
I'm not going to put it out there, but it's also interesting. And we've said that so many times in this podcast today, but what happens in the next few years is going to be very, very, very interesting for the trajectory of theme parks in general in Orlando.
For sure.
Oh, yes.
So, and also just to remind everybody that's listening, so when you book a package, it's $200 deposit.
It is. Well, for Disney, it's a $200 deposit. Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And cruise line is different because it is, again, based upon pricing and all of that. But yes, it is a $200 deposit for Walt Disney World.
That's so, I love that it's just like a flat rate. Like doesn't change. I love that.
Me too, because it's so easy for clients to go, okay, I can do $200.
Yeah.
And, and that is fully refundable up until, final payment. So if something happens and you can't go, or we need to shift the trip or things like that, life happens. And that's possible. Disney Cruise is a different beast in and of itself, just because cruise is a beast. in and of itself.
Mhm.
And Universal will most likely work with you on things too, but so far Walt Disney World is the easiest, what we call is lift and shifting, if you need to do that.
I totally agree with that. Like, having gone to both Disney and Universal, I think it's way easier to adjust things at Disney than it is at
Yeah.
Universal. Mostly because Universal hotels and the parks, like, it's owned by Lowe's, so we have another person in there,
Yes.
But
It's another hoop to jump through.
yes.
Yeah.
And just to point out something is that if, like, let's say like hotel discounts come out for, later in 2026, like, y'all will apply those if they're available.
That is what's so great about us and our team. And I know that I'm talking about my agency, but
well, that's what you're supposed to do.
I know, but part of helping families is also helping families get the best price.
Mhm.
And that's important. It's important to all of my team.
Yeah.
So that we are definitely always looking out for your best interest.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I can say
agree.
what we do on the CTM team, we have Lauren and Kendall,
Mhm.
and they're both
Yeah.
great to work with. But yeah, it's all the time. We've booked stuff, and they'll be like, "Hey, it's actually cheaper to do X, Y, and Z."
Yeah.
And
Yes,
so it is nice. It is
absolutely.
nice because you can, even if a deal, like, I think people hesitate too, because it's like, well, what if another deal comes out? But if it does, then you can take advantage of that. But quick question: what you're seeing, just since you're on here, and I'm curious, what are like the best times of people looking to say Universal and Epic Universe? Are you seeing similar time frames on that end of like the summer being less busy, or does it look a little different from what you've seen?
No, Universal is a different beast simply because Epic is so brand new and shiny.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And it's very different. Now, you don't want to say the other two parks are dead, because that's simply not the case. But with Epic offering 1-day tickets for next year, that is also very helpful, because in the beginning you weren't allowed to buy a 1-day ticket, or I'm sorry, you were only allowed to buy that one specific day ticket packaged with everything else. Does that make sense? Like,
yes.
you had
Yep.
the only way to get into Epic was to go to the other two parks also.
Yeah.
And so next year that looks a little bit different, and so things are very different with that. So Epic is in Universal's a little bit different of a beast. I will say maybe it was a little less crowded in the summer, but right now with it being so shiny and new,
Yeah.
people, they're wanting to go there.
Yeah.
And they haven't released Epic Universe like pricing yet for 2026, right? Or is it just
They haven't changed anything as of yet that I know of.
They, from what we have seen, nothing has changed
okay?
yet. But I mean, this all happened relatively soon, today with Disney. So
Right,
Yeah.
right.
we'll see what tomorrow holds.
Probably.
We'll see what tomorrow
They'll
holds.
probably they'll probably increase
It'll be
prices in the
soon.
next coming weeks, which would be
Yeah.
interesting how they price Epic, because everybody
Yeah.
there is wondering about annual passes,
Yes.
which those aren't
you
a thing
still
yet.
can't do that.
Right. And I
Mhm.
honestly don't think they may not do it well into 2026.
You think so?
Well, if you look at the wait times, if you
I
open up
know.
annual passes to Epic, and Universal has a higher percentage of annual pass holders that go, you'd probably be looking at an additional 8,000 to 10,000 people in that park, which you already have high wait times there. So until they get
Yeah.
those wait times down a bit. Now they did open it, like I said, that you can park hop starting in 2026. They do have that international package as well, where every day you can go to Epic Universe on your package. So it does loosen up in 2026 compared to how when it opened. But I think the question a lot of people have is the annual passes, and who knows on that front. But
Yeah, all of that, and we have heard nothing, not even a peep of that.
I haven't either. Yeah.
And they have been very tight-lipped, even with like us wanting to go do training, all of that type of things. It's been all on hold because of the parks that they've announced, especially the one out in Texas. Yeah, the one in Texas.
Oh yeah,
Right?
the kids park. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they have been. They say that all eyes are on that park right now.
Interesting.
So yes, very much so. So I think, like you said, I think we might be on lockdown when it comes to the annual pass holders and all the things. for Epic and for Universal.
Yeah, that's very interesting to see. This is the number one question I get all the time, and I never have an answer for
What's
it.
going on with Epic?
Yeah. So, well, I think that is all the things that we're going to ask Kendra about. The only thing I was going to say, of course, go to vacationwithzip.com. Go book there.
Do.
And again, we have a dedicated team for CTM listeners. You got Lauren or Kendall. They're both great. So
Absolutely.
you get them, and like, we've used it. Makes your trip much easier to book through them and use it.
Yes, they do, and they are ready and waiting for the next.
And
person
they're very kind of like Kendra. They have that like nice southern, like it makes you feel at home. You're like, oh, okay, it just take care of it.
Especially Kendall, she's got that good.
She does have, yeah. It's fun.
Yeah,
I love it.
I love them.
But yeah, they're great. So go check out vacationwithzip.com. And Kendra, thank you for being on the show. It's always a good time, and we'll try and do it more often. I know we're all busy.
Thank you.
And,
yes, trying to get the schedules aligned. It's like everything was like a perfect alignment today.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely.
Maybe that moon it'll happen again in a few more months. It's like a full moon. We'll get it there. But thank you
Absolutely.
thanks for being on, and we will have you on again soon. And go to vacationwithzip.com, and we'll talk to you soon.
Thank you. Talk to you soon.
All right. Well, I think that's going to do it for the show. It's a lot of fun having Kendra on.
Oh, she's always a blast. She's so funny.
I feel like if you just showed up at our house, she'd be like, "Well, come on in." It'd just be, there's a what they used to have, a bundt cake waiting for guests.
A bundt cake.
There used to be a thing. There used to be a cake that if you had guests come over, it was what it was for.
Guys, this is for guests only. This is the guest.
No,
cake.
there was a comedian that talked about it.
What?
Like when he was a kid, his parents would have you had things set out for guests in case you had company that came over, and then eventually it would get old, and then you would eat it then. But
interesting. I never.
That used to be a thing people did. Well, people used to go to people's houses just to say hello.
Oh yeah. That makes sense.
And now when you
no
knock,
cell phones,
and now when you knock on the door unexpectedly, you're like, "Who is there and why?"
Right.
State your name through the door.
Right. Like us millennials as kids just drop to the floor. We're not home.
That's what it was. Sebastian Maniscalco. Yeah, he was like, when people knock on the door now, everybody goes on the floor. Like, did you call somebody over here?
Who is that?
Listen. I don't know if I got warrants. I probably don't. I don't know. I don't know who's at the door, what they want.
Okay.
Anyways. Well, that's going to do it for the show. Be sure to check us out on social media. We're at Captain Magic everywhere, including YouTube, where I do daily videos over there on theme parks, entertainment, pop culture, all that stuff like that. So you can catch it over there. I actually just hit 15,000 subs over there. So it's going very well.
Very good.
Had another milestone. And I'm trying to do better about celebrating milestones because Jamie says I don't celebrate enough.
That is true. I do think that's true.
How do I celebrate, though? I'll just give a high five to you.
Well, you do, actually. They do say that people that are very driven, or more focused on the getting to the next step and keep going, don't really try to celebrate the milestones. They just kind of yep, there it is, and keep going.
I've always been that way. I don't know. I think it also gets into, and it can be taken the wrong way, but I think when you set goals, you have many ways assumed those goals are going to happen. And so when it happens, obviously I'm happy about goals, but I'm just okay, great, hit that one, and then we're going to the next one. I don't know, it's just maybe a sports thing, but it is nice. Maybe. So thank you for all those that have subscribed over there. It's a lot of fun doing that. And also be sure to check us out on some other shows that we have on the network. We have the CTM Universal show where we talk about Universal Studios, and had an episode there come out on Monday and breaking down the latest stuff on Stardust Racers, and talked about some underrated rides at Universal Studios. That we give our opinions on. And then Jamie has Trip Tales, which is her trip report show. And when's the next one there coming out?
Should be Monday. I've got to record do this episode here. She just got back, so I'll have to find a time to record it and hopefully get it out by Monday. So if you want to be a guest on a future Trip Tales episode, you can go to ctmtriptales.com, tell me about your trip, and if I want to have you on, I will contact you.
There you go. All right. Well, and if you like what we do around here, you like to contribute to the show, you want to get some more content, be part of a cool group, go hang out in some meetups and things, you can look at joining Club 32, and that is our private group. Basically, it's like our own Patreon. We just host it on our own end. There's a private Facebook group. You get 25% off CTM apparel and 1901 Candle Company products year-round. We have the Clubhouse show in there. We have a private podcast feed. We have weekly live streams that we do, which are always a lot of fun. If you have questions about a trip coming up, or you just want to talk about random things, either way, it's always a fun time. We do those on Thursdays. We also have a music loops from the parks on the private podcast feed, as well as the content there, so you can have an additional access to those. And the Facebook group's a good resource if you got a trip coming up or questions. A lot of people in that group go to the parks a lot, and we can interact a bit more with everybody in there, so it's a good time. And, of course, we have meetups as well. We got one coming up in January?
Yes, January 30th through February 1st.
There we go. All right. They're always a good time. So if you want to go join there, you can go to ctmvip.com. We have monthly or yearly options. And if you do the yearly, you get a free T-shirt, and it's a little bit cheaper if you end up doing that as well. So you can go check that out. And like I said, it's a great group. And if you'd like to join, we would love to have you. So again, ctmvip.com is where you go for that. So, all right. Well, that's going to do it for the show. So thank you, everybody, for listening and or watching. And thank you, Jamie, for joining us.
Thank you.
And as Jamie always likes to say,
We will see you in the parks.
bye.